Hello and welcome back to my channel, AfriPsych. My name is Funi and today's topic will be about cheating or infidelity. As a disclaimer, please remember that these are my opinions and no one else's. So today I'll be talking about emotional cheating, and I will create another video to discuss sexual cheating. So cheating is also known as infidelity, and it's when a person is in a monogamous romantic relationship and has an emotional or sexual relationship with someone else without their partner's consent. Mind you, partner's consent. I've been watching a lot of videos talking about cheating. However, the majority of these videos talk about men cheating. I, on the other hand, am not going to focus on just men. I'm going to focus on all types of cheaters, regardless of their sexual preference. We have to remember that cheating does not only involve a sexual relationship. You can cheat with someone emotionally. Some of the sexual relationships start as emotional, and as time goes by, it develops into a sexual one. The reason why I'm not isolating cheating to only one gender is because that specific gender does not cheat on themselves with themselves, but with other people of different similar genders. No gender is innocent. I like to say that everyone has emotionally cheated before, knowing or unknowingly. That little text that you send out there to someone to talk about your partner, that's cheating, especially if you are going to delete that specific text. When one is in a relationship and they start feeling like they cannot talk to their partner, they tend to talk to someone else and hope that that person will help them deal with whatever issues they might have. When you are in a relationship, you need to get to a point where you feel very comfortable to divulge whatever issues you might have, regardless of whether they affect a relationship or just personal issues. And obviously, to get to this point, the relationship has to mature. I personally do not believe that a person can cheat on a very fresh and new relationship. If they do, it means that you as a partner are not their main partner and you are the person they're cheating on their partner with. So you are a side. All new relationships go through what we refer to as the honeymoon phase or the cloud nine phase. We've all been there. Hence, I'm saying that it is very difficult for someone to cheat when their relationship is still new. When it is a new relationship, you need to set boundaries and rules that both partners will have to agree to and adhere to. If a person is in a relationship with the intention not to be serious about the partner, it is then not a romantic relationship but passing time. One of you is being played. People need to understand that when you start a relationship, you're also aiming at taking responsibility for yourself and the other person's feelings. You do not lose your identity, but you tend to share that identity with the person you are in a relationship with. Everything that was about you when you were single changes from the moment you start a romantic relationship, whether you like it or not. You stop being I and you start referring yourself as we. Everything that you do, you have to consider the other person. Now, the problem starts with you not wanting to be part of that relationship wholeheartedly. In order for a relationship to succeed, you cannot be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. If you are still exploring possibilities out there, you need to be open and honest with your partner so that you don't lead them the wrong way. Because your partner might think that you are in a serious relationship only to find that you were still exploring possibilities out there. To you, it might not seem like you were cheating because you did not intend to be in a serious relationship. But to the other person whom you have led the wrong way, they might be thinking otherwise. There's nothing wrong with exploring other possible relationships if you are open and honest about your intentions from the get-go with your partner. There are people who are in relationships and they do not have a problem with their partners having multiple partners. It's called an open relationship. I, for one, cannot survive in an open relationship because I'm too jealous, too overprotective, and too loving. I give it all. I do not frown upon partners who agree on an open relationship because that is what they prefer, and if it strengthens their relationship, who are we to judge? The only problem is when the other partner does not know that that is the arrangement and they dedicate all the time and love to that one specific person only to find that the other person has their own agenda, which is totally different from the other ones. If your relationship has reached the maturity stage and you are still unable to tell your partner everything about yourself or everything that happens around you, then you need to reevaluate your relationship and your intentions for the future. You cannot be more comfortable talking to someone else about you and your relationships issues, but not become comfortable talking to the person who is involved in that specific relationship. Doesn't make sense. You cannot solve the relationship issues by involving a third party. Majority of the times, third parties are the reason why relationships actually end up breaking. By third party, I'm not referring to your mental health, well, it's like specialists or psychologists. I'm referring to your friends, your families, your co-workers, whatever that you run to. No one can give you better relationship advice about your relationship than your partner and yourself. If you cannot make decisions about your relationship or the status of your relationship, then you are not ready yet to be in one. A lot of people are in relationships because they are scared to be alone and it feels good to have someone they can rely on. And they end up depending on that person and clinging to that person and end up abusing the person emotionally. We tend to destroy beautiful relationships by involving third parties such as parents, siblings, friends, you name it. No one relationship is similar to the next. One needs to allow their relationship to take its course according to what you put into the relationship and according to what you want it to be about. You make it how you want it to be, not how other people prefer it to be, not according to society, but according to the two of you. You cannot mimic someone else's relationship, not even your parents. It doesn't matter how good their relationship is. It won't be the same as yours. You can just get advice on how they made it where they are, but you need to make your relationship how you want it to be. Every relationship has its own ups and downs, which are not similar to the other ones. They might sound the same, but they are not. So you cannot use another relationship to solve your relationship issues. This also goes back to every person is an individual. We are not all the same. Therefore, we cannot use the same methods to deal with life's issues. Everyone comes with different intentions into the relationship and everyone just hopes for the best. But it will be easier if those intentions were made clear from the beginning and so that the other person has the opportunity to decide whether they want to continue or not. Everyone has a right to choose what kind of a relationship they want to get into. It is always nice to have someone to listen to you, understand you, and support you. But it's more nicer when that someone is your partner. When you start feeling more comfortable or accepted by someone else out there more than what you feel about your partner, you are cheating. Emotional cheating does not have to involve any sexual intercourse. Once you start deleting those texts, emails, WhatsApp messages so that your partner does not see them, you are cheating. Once you start flirting with someone and you enjoy it to the point where you would rather continue flirting with this person than spend time with your partner and even getting agitated by your partner, you are cheating. Flirting is okay. There's nothing wrong with flirting. You just need to know where you draw the line. I mean, flirting gives people a bit of confidence, that you still have it. One thing we need to remember is that there is no perfect relationship, none whatsoever. You will always be trying to work on making it perfect until the end of times. The moment you start wanting your partner to be more than what they are, you need to ask yourself if you would be able to do the same if your partner wanted that for you or from you. You need to put yourself in someone else's shoes before you expect them to move heaven and earth for you. There is no one gender that is obliged to move the mountains for the other gender. Relationships are supposed to be a two-way street. If you expect the other partner to do more than you, you are being selfish, ignorant, and might as well be a narcissist. Every time when family or friends come to me for advice about their relationships, the first question I ask them is, have you discussed this with your partner? If yes, I then ask them, in what tone of voice did you discuss this? If no, they need to go back and discuss it with their partner before they come to me, obviously. Most of the time, you find that that partner is angry communicating. Angry communicating means that you only talk about issues that affect you when you are angry at your partner or you and your partner are fighting. You have to remember that when you're angry or fighting, you tend to say or do things to stroke your own ego by hurting the other person. That kind of mentality or action does not build a relationship, but it breaks it down. One needs to ask themselves whether you are here to build or break. The problem is that we expect someone to actually follow in our footsteps or change overnight. You cannot change a person. You can only just nudge them to understand where you are and where you want to go with the relationship. Everyone changes when they are ready to do so. Some people never change but evolve. The problem comes when they evolve to become worse than they were before, which creates more damage to the relationship. It is always nice when they actually evolve to become a better person and help the relationship to grow. There's no one in the world who is unable to communicate with their partner, because if there was, that one specific person will also not be able to cheat. Because when you're cheating, you're starting a new relationship with someone, and it means that you still need to learn that person and also develop some sense of comfort around them. So you already develop that with your current partner. So you cannot come and say you cannot speak to your partner or communicate with your partner. All I know is that even the most shy, quiet person out there can be the most outspoken, confident person when they're with their partner. Your partner has to be your comfort zone, a place you run to when you can't go anywhere else. A place you want to go back to every day when you're at work or when you're out there. You just want to go back home so you can be around your partner. Therefore, it is just an excuse to say you cannot speak to your partner, but you feel free to talk to someone else. The reason you cannot speak to your partner is because you never give yourself time to learn their love language or discuss how you want them to deal with issues that affect your relationship. Once you start receiving attention out there, you will start thinking that your partner is not doing what they need to do, and you will start comparing your partner to someone else. The sad part is that you're comparing your partner without their knowledge that they are in competition with someone else. So hence, the person you're cheating with will always come across as the best compared to your partner. Remember the 80-20 rule, right? That little 20% that you're getting outside, it feels like 100% because you're forgetting about the 80 that's at home. You have to be careful who you run to when you are seeking advice about your relationship. Some friends might be secretly envying your relationship, therefore destroying it will be their number one priority. And if you do not have a backbone, you will take that advice and destroy what was supposed to be the most beautiful thing. When taking advice from parents, majority of the times there is a lot of emotion involved. No loving parent would want to see their child suffer. Therefore, whatever advice that they're going to give you will have to make them feel better about their child's safety and well-being. But the reason for your parents to react in that manner is because they only have your side of the story. Remember, there's always 3 sides to the story. Yours, theirs, and the real truth. Parents should learn to listen to both sides of the story with both partners present, not separately. Well, for this next one, I might be persecuted for it. But remember, these are my opinions and no one else's. There is no friendship between opposite sex, for example, a male and a female, who are interested in their opposite sex without the friend having different intentions. Most of the other friends or the friend in the friendship, they are kept in the friend zone, hence they become the friend. You become a cushion for the friend when things are going bad. The other friend knows that they might not have a chance, but they always keep and hope that one day, things will change and they will fall from the friend zone to the relationship zone. So imagine what advice they will give you. It won't be an advice that helps you grow your relationship. It will be an advice that helps them enter into a relationship with you. Most of the relationships start with people who are friends. So this is where this is coming from. So in closing, I'd like to say a relationship is between 2 people, unless if there is an agreement to have third parties involved. Therefore, it is always best to try and resolve your issues with your partner before involving other people. The one thing I do not compromise on, nor will I ever give advice for a person to stick around for, is physical abuse. When someone raises their hand, be it they beat you up or not, it's the biggest red flag that says run and do not look back. I believe that anything else besides physical abuse can be resolved by communicating effectively with your partner. Screaming and throwing things around the house is not communicating. It's called throwing your toys out, and you are not a kid in the supermarket who's playing around the toys and wants to buy everything in the shop and they fall to the ground and break things. That is very irritating. No one is going to take you serious, obviously. Partners need to stop communicating with each other with disrespect or looking down on one another. When you are in a relationship, you have to try and accommodate the other person's flaws. No one is perfect. Nobody. Allow them to be who they are and assist each other in creating a better environment for your relationship. There's a few pointers that I would like to raise out there for like when you are in a relationship and how to communicate and stuff. You need to talk to each other and not at each other. So when you're communicating, you listen to what your partner is saying. Once they're done talking, you respond with the same respect that they gave you. That's how communication should be. You need to listen without judgment. And you need to listen without immediately trying to respond. Because the minute you think of a response while they're still talking, you stop listening to them and you start, preparing that response in your head. That's not communicating. If you are angry, try this. Lie down flat on the floor, couch, bed, table, whatever. No one can scream and argue while they're lying down. And try speaking in a calm voice like you in the library. Trust me, you cannot be angry for long or scream at a person if you whispering like you in the library. Never argue in front of people because both your egos will skyrocket and no one wants to be humiliated. So you're just going to be worse. Never go to bed angry. I always say there is no such thing as a silent treatment. You are just being nasty. Ask yourself what you will be gaining, if anything positive, from the silent treatment. If it makes you feel good, then clearly you don't like or love your partner the way you claim that you do. Because when you love someone, you cannot go a day, even an hour, without being in good terms with them. It will eat you up. Providing a silent treatment is your way of trying to punish your partner. I mean, why would you want to punish your partner? What good is it going to do for your relationship besides opening up more opportunities of third parties lingering? I mean, they always are lingering, like vultures just waiting for your relationship to draw its last breath. Once it does, they're there and giving or providing incorrect or wrong or misleading advice. There is no idiot in the relationship. Remember that. When you date someone, or when you love someone, you stoop to their level. You become one. So if you see your partner as an idiot, so are you. Who knows? Maybe you are the bigger idiot. You just don't know about it. Or you just don't realize it. If you're not living together, stop threatening your partner that you are going to quit the relationship if you don't mean it. Because eventually they're going to believe it and they're going to start looking out there for better grazing land, for lack of a better word. If you are living together, packing your bags every time and leaving, I don't care how independent you are. How is leaving your home going to help you resolve the issues you have at home with your partner? By leaving, you are creating an opportunity for a third party to creep in, and then you turn around and blame your partner for being tempted while you are the one who left. Just a quick one. This happened in the beginning of my marriage. So we had our first fight, which was caused by family, obviously. He got angry and drove out. Mind you, we had not yet established boundaries in the 3.5 years that we had been together. And it took that one fight for us to realize that we needed to know more about one another. Therefore, it is never too late to start knowing your partner and knowing how you want your relationship to be. It was at 10 at night. So I decided I'm too independent. I got in my car as well and I drove home to my mother's home. It was like 20 minutes drive from where I was staying. When I got home, I cried on my mother's shoulders, told her everything that happened, But the first thing that my mother asked me was that, did he lay a hand on you? And my response was no. She asked me if he ever laid a hand on me before. I said no. And until today, my husband has never laid a hand on me. And then she asked me what is it that I wanted to accomplish by being at home at that time. And I told her that I was so angry. I wanted him to be scared and be hurt by the fact that I left home and I'm not going back until he begs me to. The ego. But one day I will actually create a video about what my mother told me that day. But in a nutshell, she said to me, I will be a bad mother if I allow you to sleep here while your husband doesn't know where you are and you are fighting with him. I need you to get in your car and go back home, sit your husband down and talk about what happened. I actually thought that day that my mother didn't love me. Why and how could she turn me away while I came crying about the issues I have in my marriage? But I listened and I went back home and sat down with my husband. And from that day on, we had an agreement that we will never allow third parties, regardless of who they are, to come between us, because this relationship or any relationship is between you and your partner, between me and my husband and not everybody else. So your siblings, your parents, your co-workers, they don't have to have a say in your relationship. You are allowing them to have that say in your relationship. And sometimes that very same say is going to destroy your relationship. So my 2 cents on this is that you only have to run fast and don't look back if it's a physical abuse type of a relationship. But you need to communicate if there is no physical abuse. This is not only directed to women, it's also directed to men and whatever you classify yourself as. Look, majority of the people think that people who are being abused are female. We are forgetting that as females, we also slap our partners around, throw things at our partners, and expect it to be okay just because we are a feminine gender. Abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman, it's still abuse. According to my opinion, emotional cheating does not hurt much as sexual cheating. And remember, it's my opinion. In the next video, I will be discussing sexual cheating, what goes around in the relationship and what leads to sexual cheating and what the actions of that infidelity causes to both partners. And please mind you, I said both partners, not the partner who's been cheated on. Because remember, there's two sides to every story. And also we need to find the root cause of what caused something to happen. It is a sour topic, but it is part of our lives. Everyone has been cheated on, even in high school, some without their knowledge. And just because you do not know, it doesn't mean that it never happened or it's not happening. And my last quote would be from the cartoon, The Boondocks. They always said, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video to the end. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't. Click like and comment on my videos to help me grow. Thank you.